Hey, what's up everybody? This is Swagadon with Swagger Gaming, bringing you another Mage Tower Challenge guide. If you don't want to hear me talk and just want to see the encounter played through, I have provided a link to that video in the description below. In this guide, we will be talking about the Outlaw Rogue. You must complete the impossible foe scenario in which you will need to defeat Agatha and her army of imps. Before we jump into talent choices, I wanted to remind everyone that I do not play Rogue beyond the Mage Tower challenges, and that the talents and rotations I will be discussing in this guide are probably not what you want to be using for dungeons or raids, and are just what worked for me to complete this challenge. If you have any suggestions that may help out others, please feel free to comment below. For the tier 1 talent, I chose Ghostly Strike, as it is the highest damage output for this tier. For tier 2, I took Acrobatic Strikes. The additional range provided by this talent is very helpful when fighting against multiple imps. Deeper Stratagem is the highest DPS output in tier 3, and the extra damage from finishers is great for breaking through Agatha's shield. Tier 4 comes down to personal preference, but I took Cheat Death because I am bad at dodging boulders. I took Dirty Tricks in tier 5 because I wanted the free gouges for the healing ads. Prey on the Weak could be a nice alternative, but you will need to make sure you are active enough with your vanishes to make it work. At first I took Cannonball Barrage for the extra AoE damage, but decided it was better to just keep the sustained damage and ended up going with Alacrity for tier 6. For our tier 7 talent, I chose Mark for Death because the combo point generation allows you to quickly burst something down if necessary. I'm not going to get too much into the Outlaw rotation, but I did find it much easier when I made sure to keep multiple Roll the Bones buffs active. If you want to get a better understanding on how to properly play your Outlaw Rogue, a great place to start would be the basic rotation guide on Icyveins. I will leave a link to that down in the description. I was 928 item level when I completed this encounter. I was using Cindaria the Symbiote and Killjaden's Burning Wish as my two legendaries, both of which were very helpful. The belt gives you that extra burst up front on ads, and the trinket is a nice way to help you clear out groups quickly. I was also using the 2-set tier 21 bonus from LFR, which make your attacks from Saber Slash increase the damage of your next run through by 15%, stacking up to 4 times. This is a nice bonus, but it's not mandatory. This scenario is fairly simple, but you can easily be overwhelmed with imps if you're not properly managing your cooldowns and abilities. Beyond Agatha herself, there are 4 types of imps you will have to deal with throughout the encounter, plus fiery boulders. I'm going to go over the imps first and then talk about Agatha and the flow of the encounter afterwards. The first type of imp you will see is the Smoldering Imp. These spawn in packs and need to be AoE'd down quickly. They do not do much damage at first, but their firebolts ramp up each time they cast it, so you will want to take care of these fairly fast. Umbral Imps can also spawn in packs and are a priority when they spawn. These make Agatha immune to damage, so should be killed as quickly as possible. Fuming Imps will chase you around, and if they hit you will explode and knock you back, and then drop a green puddle on the ground that does damage if you stand in it. These puddles will remain for the entire duration of the fight. You can either kill these imps off, or you can kite them to an outer edge to let them drop the puddles out of the way. Because these imps can spawn by themselves or in packs, I typically did a combination of the two. Note that after the first pack of Smoldering Imps, you will start to get a mix of Smoldering Umbral and Fuming Imps when the packs spawn. The last type of imps are the Imp Servants, who will spawn in pairs at the back of the room and walk towards Agatha. When they reach her, they will start a channel that heals her up. Just make sure you are doing your best to interrupt and kill these as quickly as possible. It is okay if they get some healing on her, as there are other priorities. Agatha herself has several abilities on top of her constant shadow bolts and auto attacks. Some of her shadow bolts will put a purple swirly on the ground, and you'll just need to move out of these as it does some extra damage and a knockback. Her main ability is called Dark Fury, and she will shield herself and start a channel that does consistent damage to you that ramps up over time. Just make sure you have some combo points built up and the shield goes down pretty quickly so you can interrupt. When you get her down to 50%, she will teleport to the end of the hall and start lobbing fiery boulders at you. These need to be avoided as they do quite a bit of damage and stun you. At this point, you've seen all of the mechanics, but she will teleport back and forth across the map. Note that the boulders are always coming from the same side, so half the time they will be rolling in from behind you. I did not use any encounter-specific macros or Weakauras for this fight, but bigwigs did have timers which were very nice to time out the cooldowns and pool energy. My UI also uses Ipse's Rogue Weakaura HUD, which I will provide a link to down in the description below. In my opinion, this is one of the harder, if not the hardest DPS challenges because of how easy it is to be overwhelmed by imps. You are able to recover in many of the other challenges, but if you make a mistake against Agatha, it can easily snowball until you die. If you liked this video, please consider hitting that like button and subscribing for more great content. Thanks for watching and have a great one.